Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, and welcome to Wake and Stretch. Today is Thursday. Yeah, I think today's Thursday, at least by me it is. So this morning for Wake and Stretch, I have a little tiny itty bitty plan. Let's say it's not a plan, let's say it's an intention to do a little bit of asana, a little bit of the poses to get the body ready to sit and breathe / meditate for a little while instead of doing a big full body practice today. Woke up kind of feeling blah, no particular reason, just kind of feeling blah, and I want to do something instead of wallowing in the blah. Although sometimes it's fun to wallow in the blah, believe it or not, fun in that sadistic kind of way, but I do want to feel a little bit better than the way I do at the moment. Nothing's wrong, nothing's happened, it's just blah. Sometimes you just wake up feeling blah. Okay, so I have my meditation pillow nearby, and I'm mixing the music this morning so that I can hear the birds. I don't, you may hear some traffic as I go through. And all right, so I think that's all I need to tell you for this morning. I will lead through a little bit, but I won't explain in detail. But I'll give you a heads up before I move into any of the poses. So I'm going to jump on the mat, and I'm going to start in child's pose. Big shocker there, right? So finding your child's pose. Legs narrow or wide. If you want to use props, that's a good idea. I'm going to grab my towel before I move into child's pose, which is still rolled up from my practice the other day. And this will provide a nice support underneath the torso. So it's not very big, it's not very tall, so I think I'm going to actually fold it. This way my belly is supported. I'm going to stack my hands and rest in child's pose for a few breaths. Nice gentle breath. If a deep breath or a yawn comes up, let it happen. If you're good where you are in child's pose, you can stay there. Actually, I'm going to adjust a little bit so that my head can come all the way down to the mat. For me this morning, this provides a little bit more opening through the shoulders and the upper back. From here, I'm going to come up into tabletop and move through some cows and some cats. This helps to wake up the spine, get the fluids moving, get the muscles a little bit more woken up. Inhaling as you lift the head, and then exhaling as you curl. And be mindful here, if you're practicing with me, to follow your own breath pattern. Using the entire length of the inhale to reach the depth of the pose. And not starting the next portion of the movement until you're ready to exhale. One more round of breath. Coming back to a nice neutral spine. Then extend the right leg back and give a little press back. Opening up the calf and the hamstring and the ankle. And inhaling, shifting forward. And exhaling gently, shifting back again. One more time. Coming back to neutral, engaging the lower belly, lifting the back leg only about an inch or so, and then the left arm extends forward for opposite arm leg balance. And I'm just going to try to balance here, front hand in a fist. One more breath. Gently bring it back down, child's pose for a few breaths. Coming back up onto hands and knees. And taking the other side, so left leg extends back, ball of the foot onto the mat, gently pressing back. Then shifting forward and back with the breath, so inhaling forward, exhaling, pressing back. Inhaling, shifting forward, and exhaling back. One more time. And coming back to neutral, gently lifting the left leg about an inch, and then the right arm extends with a fist, staying for about 3 breaths. One more inhale. And then exhale, gently bringing it back down, child's pose for a few breaths. And gently coming up from here. Letting the legs extend out in front, giving them a good shake. And I think I'm going to take a little Janu Shirshasana this morning. So that means the right foot is going to come to the inner thigh. Sitting up nice and tall, giving a little baby twist to the left, and then gently folding. Now this is the first forward fold that I'm actually doing this morning, so I'm going very slow. Slowly, slowly, folding forward. Imagine your breath going to wherever you feel the most tightness. And let that, imagine the breath going in there. When you inhale, it's swirling around. And as you exhale, it removes any tension. Just a nice visualization to have while you're stretching. Gently coming up from there. I'm going to give a little bit of a twist to the right, keeping the legs as is. Exhaling as a twist. I'm trying to keep both sit bones down on the mat without the left one moving. Gently coming back through center. And then letting that right leg come out in front, giving it a little bit of a shake so that the hip releases, and then moving to the other side. So the left foot comes to the inner thigh, sitting up nice and tall. Giving a little micro twist to the right, and then folding forward as you exhale. Inhaling, coming all the way up through vertical. And then exhaling, gently twisting to the left, over that bent leg. Staying for a few breaths. Inhale, coming back through center. Exhale where you need to, and then come into bound angle pose. Does not have to be a tight one, can be a little bit more open, meaning that the heels can be away from the hips. They don't have to be as close as possible. And just a nice gentle fold forward. Be mindful here that your head is supported, so either with energy, keeping the spine long, or if you'd rather, you want to use your hands underneath to support in any way that seems doable for you. Or if you have pillows or props around you, you want to put them under your forehead for support, then do that. But the attention here is on the hips and the lower back, allowing them to gently open and relax in their own time. And of course the breath, always breathing. From here, gently rolling up. We're coming up to vertical. Using the hands on the legs. And windshield wipering when you're ready. Start small, especially if you're feeling achy in those hips. And once it starts to feel a little bit better, you get bigger and bigger with the movement. This will also provide you with a nice massage for the booty. Rolling over those glute muscles helps to trigger point. They are the biggest muscle group in the body. And they do hold tension, whether we want to believe it or not, do. Alright, I'm coming up to seated. Doing a little bit with the arms. So I'm going to interlace the fingers and let the arms stretch up overhead, giving a nice stretch. A little tilt from side to side. Keeping the fingers connected, bringing the hands in front and pressing them forward so you open between the shoulder blades. Head can gently tilt forward. And lifting it all the way up through vertical. And then exhaling, releasing, bringing it behind, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then inhale up through the chest. Try not to let the head drop back. This is more about opening across the shoulders, the upper ribs. My elbows are actually a little bit bent behind me. I know you can't see them. I'm on my fingertips. Good. Coming back to neutral, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. Both directions, maybe one at a time, if you're feeling jazzy. Just to get some of those kinks out. I'm going to take a side bend. I'm really trying to prepare everything in the body a little bit to be able to sit for a while, to sit in stillness. So all these stretches and movements help to get the kinks out. Yeah, so I'm just going to gently go side to side here. Nothing too deep at first. keeping the sit bones connected to the mat. Exhaling as you side bend. So inhaling as you come up, and exhaling as you bend to the side. And gently coming back up through vertical once you've finished both sides. We have a little bit of a curve here. A little bit of a lift. And I am being quite active here. I'm using the muscles. It's not so passive. So I'm using my arms on my legs. Good, let's do that one more time. Inhale, lifting up. And exhaling, curling. All right, so I feel like everything is pretty much warmed up, juiced up, ready to sit. So I'm going to take my cushion and bring it onto the mat, and I'll actually move this so that we can, hopefully the sunlight will wash me out. It is a nice sunny day. Okay. So finding your comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you. It could be in a chair, it could be against a wall, could be on your knees with cushion underneath, any way that makes sense to you. And finding a nice tall spine so that you're sitting upright. Your hands can rest on your thighs, or you can stack them in your lap, however you feel comfy. And when your hands are on your thighs, I know mine are kind of out of the shot of the camera, but you can turn the palms upward. You can even take a mudra if you do, but if you decide to take the mudra, be mindful that you're not tensing it. It's just a very gentle touch. Yeah? And this mudra has to do with your crown chakra. It has to do with the channels that go through the body, and that's why mudras are what they are. They mean something as far as your energy is concerned. But if you're not into that, it's okay. You can either turn the palms up or down or stack. Your choice. And once you've found your comfortable seated position, let your eyes close and start to focus in on your breath. Nice, calm, gentle breath through the nose. If you have a lot of congestion going on right now, it's okay to breathe through the mouth as well. But generally speaking, breathing through the nose is the, how do I put this, the cleanest way to breathe. There's natural filtration system built within our bodies through the nose. It helps to collect things like dust and pollen so that it avoids going down into the lungs. But if you can't breathe through your nose, then you have no choice. You have to breathe through your mouth. It's all good. So I naturally move into an Ujjayi breath, which is also known as ocean breath or Darth Vader breath. And I've done this one before in this wake and stretch. And the Darth Vader breath invigorates the throat a little bit so that you have a little bit of vibration there and it makes some sound. It does not have to be loud. And it helps to bring the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth where the teeth and the gums meet. So you're giving a little bit of pressure of the tongue there.
And that does allow the throat to open a little bit more so that you can create that ocean breath. And the sound ideally does come both on the inhale and the exhale. Check in with your body every once in a while and make sure that you're not starting to collapse in the spine or start to lean forward. Do your best to stay as vertical as possible. Being vertical allows for the breath to travel in and out through the body with ease. And to connect with the breath a little bit deeper, one hand can come to the heart or the chest and one to the belly. This will give you a good sense of where your breath is going in the body. There is no right or wrong here, it's just a learning opportunity. And if there is one thing that I could share with you about the breath that I've learned through this whole yogic experience, besides it being super important for life itself, is that when we feel anxious, when we have sorrow or grief, our breath tends to be in the lungs and the upper chest area. If you think about hyperventilating or when you're crying or grieving, you tend to feel that your heart is aching. And that's because the heart resides up here, but the breath pattern changes when we feel these things. And it is okay to feel those things. I'm not trying to deny them or shut them down. Feeling what's going on is always important. But when you shift the breath to the belly, so that it's more of a belly breath than it is a chest breath, it helps to ground you. This belly breath helps to let the brain know that everything is okay or will be okay, and provides calmness. I'm actually going to bring my hands down towards the waist, thumb in the back, fingers in the front, so that I can really feel the breath down in the belly. This belly breath also gives a nice sense of stability, of security, and safety. breathing with me. Feel free to leave your hands where they feel the most supportive to you. So either on the heart and belly, on the waist, on your thighs, wherever you'd like them to be. And we'll stay here for a few moments and I'll just be quiet and let you breathe and experience what's happening right now. If you're just joining me, we're just sitting and breathing, watching the breath. Allowing for the breath to move down into the belly. Belly breaths have a tendency of bringing us a little bit more calmness, more groundedness. Especially if you're feeling anxious or upset, if you're grieving. And it's okay to breathe up here. Obviously, we need to breathe through the chest, through the lungs. And try to stay with your breath for just a few more moments. And gradually start to blink the eyes open if they were closed. Taking a nice deep breath. So if you were not here when I started off by saying that I felt a little blank this morning. There's no reason for it. In particular, nothing happened. It's same old, and maybe that's why I feel blank, because it's the same old. But by moving and breathing, I actually do feel a little bit better. And I hope that this has helped you start your day or end your day, or help your day move through wherever you are in the world. My morning voice is blessing me again this morning. I will be here again tomorrow, same time, same place. My guess is that I'll probably be a little bit more active tomorrow morning. So thank you for joining me for my wake and stretch. Have a beautiful day. Namaste, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.